Bro,
I'm not doing it this time.
my my mom was getting. We were having just like a round table discussion with my parents over the weekend while we were sipping on some Leinenkugel summer shandy, and for some reason my mom really hates that our generation doesn't pronounce T's as much as the older generations do. Like in words like little, like it's all D's now instead of T's.
Like little.
Yeah,
We've lost
like
our
it's
That's
not
edge.
fucking stupid.
Little.
That's a
it's not
stupid thing.
water, it's water.
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
So? So?
Nah, you know what? I'm with her. We've gone soft, but even it's showing up in our pronunciation. It's
No.
bullshit.
Bro, it's
Bring
more
back,
efficient.
you know.
Can't be pronunciating like that.
Bro, I'm conserving energy every time I don't go I go t.
Bro, isn't it
That's what
crazy
makes
that...
you weak. Welcome
Isn't
back
it
to the
crazy that-
Working Class Podcast, where we tell it as it is.
www takes longer to say than World Wide Web.
Is that true?
It's more,
Yeah,
It has more
Mhm.
syllables.
it's more syllables.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have a long silence. It's fine.
Is that like was that the
so-
whole thought?
I don't know. So, anyways, this is our second time trying to do this, and
Yeah,
Sam was
Sam
talking.
ran out of space.
Sam
Yeah.
has had this long-running conspiracy about there not being enough cows for there to be there's not enough cows to equal the amount of beef that is consumed on a daily basis.
Look, you say conspiracy, I say thoughtful observation.
I
It's
mean, not
just-
really.
I don't know. Like, yeah, like I was saying before, it all started working, as a little stalker boy at Kroger overnight, noticing just how much meat is thrown out after every any given shift. And then you take that massive quantity, you add it on to the quantity that is sold, and then you take that, okay, now you got to consider Kroger's across the nation, across the globe, and then every other grocery chain or independent grocery store. And then you start thinking about McDonald's and how much beef they go through in a day, every other fast food restaurant, every high-end restaurant. And you start to wonder where they get all this beef from, and I just don't think that there's enough cows to support this meat consumption. I don't know what it is. It could be horse. It could be any other like roadkill. It could be plant supplements. But all I'm saying is that there's just not enough cows to sustain particularly the American lifestyle. But I think globally as well.
I think you're overestimating how much people eat beef.
You think so?
Like, you talk about like sports events and stuff. Me and Ethan just went to the 500. How many hamburgers do you think? Like, how many people? The largest capacity sporting arena in the world. How many people do you think me and Ethan saw eating hamburgers there?
But I mean, there's beef also in it's not just in hamburgers. There are beef hot dogs.
Okay, we'll
there
include hot dogs too.
nachos with ground beef on them. I think it's yeah. Again, you're right. Not everyone in that arena is.
I didn't
is
even have
consuming
to
beef,
answer
but
my
I don't think
question.
they have to.
I didn't even answer my question. You just immediately went into defensive mode because you knew I was gonna. You knew I was gonna try to. I was gonna prove you wrong.
Like, I just Googled this, right? Google tells me that 68 million people per day eat at McDonald's. That's just McDonald's. And apparently that's about, about 1%, less than 1% of the world's population, but close to it. And I would say that a majority of people get hamburger products when they go to McDonald's. I think I'm in the minority in thinking like I mostly get chicken products. I mean, that's just. I feel like that's
I would
told by
say
the menu.
I don't
being,
think I don't think that they're like if like hamburgers do have the majority. I don't think it's that far. I think
I
chicken
think
products
it
are
is. I
chicken
think
products are
like
so popular. The McChicken, chicken nuggets. Come on,
yeah, I mean they're popular for sure, but I think like say a car
chicken
of four
nuggets
people
are.
rolls up. I think that what you see is like mom and dad are getting a quarter pounder, maybe you getting a mighty kids meal 6-piece chicken nugget for your kid, but like for the most part when I hear about people talking about McDonald's, I don't hear much about the McChicken or chicken nuggets as much as I hear about like the quarter pounder or the Big Mac or like a
Huh?
McDouble, like
I was gonna say that all I see people talk about are chicken nuggets.
who's talking about chicken nuggets, Pierce?
A lot of people, bro. I
I'm just like
guarantee. No, I guarantee that like if I got on TikTok and a video that had to do with McDonald's, or even if like there just happened to be McDonald's in the video, like someone's eating, I guarantee they're eating chicken nuggets.
I
Bro,
feel
that
like we
shit is
hear about
targeted to
chicken
you.
nuggets a
I
lot
bet they give you the
because
specific
No, but
ad.
I don't be like I'm not a chicken nugget guy. I like the chicken nuggets, but I like the burger stuff, and I order the burger stuff more than the chicken stuff.
let's take this
But
sample
I
size.
see
Like,
how
what do you guys
popular.
get majority of the time?
Like
Burger.
Burger, Ethan?
no,
I probably get the McChicken majority of the time.
All right, I get chicken nuggets a majority of the time. So even still, like even this is
I
a
get
50% split, but that's a lot of
Yeah.
people still. That's 34 million people a day. And
actually,
that's
I would
just
say that
McDonald's.
actually I'm pretty 50-50 when it comes to chicken and beef, chicken and burger. I'm pretty
They're
Okay, so I've
like I
been
order
doing
McChickens, nuggets, burgers like interchangeably.
I've been
That's a
doing
lot.
some high maths,
Oh,
and so the average American eats about 55 pounds of beef a year, which means that in America, like 18.1 billion pounds of beef are consumed every year. The average cow gives around 440 pounds of beef,
okay.
and there are 2.9 million cows killed every year. Let's see how this adds up. Okay, so Sam's on to something. That's a billion.
There we go.
And we eat
There we go.
18 billion.
That's C.
No,
The
no,
numbers
I
support
don't think
me.
that has to. No, I think that the numbers are just
The
wrong.
numbers don't lie.
Straight up.
And they spell disaster for you.
I think those were two completely, like those were multiple different studies done, at not with any uh, like two completely different studies by completely different people. And it's also estimates and not approximate numbers.
Yeah, I mean you got to approximate, but like even with an approximation, you should show up much closer to the actual number. Because if Jackson's saying Americans, by this approximation, consume 18 billion pounds of beef, and we're only, producing 1 billion pounds, that difference is so vast.
Okay,
It's
but
18
what about
times difference.
cows? Don't only come from the
Okay.
U.S.
No. Okay, there are 1.5 billion cows in the world.
That's in the world, though. He was talking. That's what the U.S. consumes.
Oh.
Okay, so
I
I don't
think
know.
something's not right in these numbers.
Yeah, I don't know how I got my math wrong. But we consume. The U.S. consumes 27 billion pounds a year, and we produce 52 billion.
Okay.
See, I
See,
agree with
that makes
your
sense.
first analysis.
Wrong
Look,
one.
I'm pro independent research. All I'm saying, do do
Just
your
give
own
it
research,
up.
people. Be
Give
free
it up.
thinkers.
Give it up, bro.
I will not. There are definitely enough chickens, though.
I
The
would say
world,
it's a
Yeah.
pretty even amount, probably. There's
the
probably
world produces 60 million metric tons of beef in a year. That's insane.
That's so many.
bro. You're gonna tell me. Think about how awful and inhumane our like cow. How we treat our livestock. Think about how awful and humane that is because they got it down to like the process of like perfectly doing it. You're gonna tell me that there's not enough cows when they literally have the perfect process for raising as many cows as they need and slaughtering them and having them replaced.
How many cow farmers you know, bro?
Also,
Actually,
climate scientists
checkmate.
famously say that there are too many cows.
ooh,
Look,
Damn.
or now,
those are radicals.
if you
paid by the
disagree
deep
with
state.
that, then you don't think that there's climate change, and that's just the rule. So choose your words carefully.
Look, you guys are in the pocket of big
Big
cow.
beef.
Big beef.
Big
Big beef,
yeah.
but it's not really beef. You know how it goes.
Bro, there's on my way home from work there is uh a billboard for this like classic like diner or not diner but like drive-in uh diners type place. Uh they sell burgers. There's a billboard for it going into Muncie, and it's in a cow field. And the cows are constantly huddled under this board that has a giant picture of a hamburger on it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
The
that's sad.
irony. Dang.
They're prepared.
Look, okay. I know. No, I think all of us here are meat eaters, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
can we agree that like vegans are right?
They're right when it comes to the how we treat them. I don't think they're right in terms of we're not supposed to eat them. Cause like that's just nature.
Yeah, I think
Like that's like getting mad. That's like getting mad that a lion is killing and eating. Like that.
Yeah,
Like
but
that's
you
just
don't
part of
think-
like that's just part of nature. But I do agree with the inhumane treatment of these animals.
you don't think that we can't compare ourselves to lions, right? Like we're
Well,
so
obviously
evolved
we're-
to the point where we've developed morality. You don't, and I think like you don't think that maybe like because we can like survive without eating meat that we should. Again, I'm never gonna stop eating meat, but I do think I do think they have a point in like because we've evolved to develop a sense of morality that maybe we should extend that or it'd be the
Yeah.
right thing to do to extend that to preserving animal life to the best of our capabilities.
Nah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No.
But then also like that, I do somewhat agree with it, but the argument also kind of falls apart when you get into like what's the difference between like a simple-minded animal and a plant.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
plants, like mushrooms, are fucking smart, dude.
They
oh yeah,
are,
bro.
You telling me we can eat them?
Yeah.
bro, and they're fucking delicious. Bro, if they're so smart, why didn't they evolve to taste nasty?
Some of them did, bro.
Wait, some of them did, and we still eat them
Exactly.
for other effects than food. But
Nah, I've just eaten them for food,
It is crazy. I'd
like a shroom
recommend to
pizza.
anyone like I don't even. I believe this is. I should. I'll look it up to be sure. But there's a documentary on mushrooms on Netflix, and it's awesome. Like um I was high as balls watching. It's called Fantastic Fungi. Um, Enlightening documentary on mushrooms. I didn't know how capable mushrooms were until I checked out this documentary. Apparently they exist under trees and the trees use them as a means of like communication essentially, and they send electrical waves through the mushrooms. Yeah. If you're
Yeah.
Whoa.
if you're interested in mushroom facts, Fantastic Fungi, check it out.
Have you guys heard about that like birchwood forest that is actually just one organism
Yes,
The
and
Joshua
all
tree, right?
it might be
that
that,
shit's
but like
crazy.
all of the trees are actually like offshoots of roots.
Interesting. I know that there's a tree in India that kind of works like that, but it's the opposite. It's not the roots are connected. It's the tree grows, and then the branches stoop down and back into the ground, and then kind of resurface, and so everything is
What?
connected to the original tree.
That's
Yeah.
crazy sounding.
Oh.
The largest living organism is like some fungus that's in like a field or something. It's like massive.
So the birch forest is the trembling giant or pando,
Ooh.
and is in Richfield, Utah.
Classic Utah. They always be having those giant trees.
And it is the largest living organism,
Okay,
but not
I
according
was
to Guinness World Records.
Is it called the Quaking Aspen? Utah's Fish Lake National Forest. Yeah, that's
boys
interesting.
trip, new boys trip. Go see the
Boys
big
trip
tree.
to.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the name of that tree in India, but yeah, it's kind of the opposite thing. You get the visual.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of cool stuff. Um. Anyways,
You
I was
got
trying
this.
to I was trying to think of like of something that I wanted to talk about and I couldn't. Oh, I so only because this is all I can think about. We were talking about about this a bit before the show, but I'm kind of whenever I watch certain things, um, I sometimes I'll get like invested in that series or like all like obsessed kind of. I get into like an obsessive phase where all like say like oh, for example when Obi-Wan came out or around that time, like there was a lot of hype for Star Wars, so like all I was really wanting to consume was Star Wars media. And then something rolls around and like maybe a Marvel movie comes out and it's like, oh no, I'm really into Marvel, I want to watch Marvel stuff. Or, something like that. And that's been me with The Boys recently. I can't get enough of The Boys right now. Ever since season 3 ended,
Have you checked out the
and
comics?
there's not enough.
So good.
No, because I always heard they were bad, and
Yeah.
I already
Yeah.
I first started watching the Boys show, I got on Wikipedia and looked at.
I've at the least heard that they're not as good as the show.
I've heard the same.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, the show does everything better. Is what I've heard.
Yeah. I've heard like the main, or at least one of the main gripes with the comics, is that it's a lot more gory, but like to an unnecessary point.
It's
Like, I feel-
gratuitous violence and nudity.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
like you go ahead.
Yeah. Like I feel like the show uses the gore to and violence to like show like how truly fucked up the people are and like the world
That's what
is.
I was gonna say.
And then like
It
the
adds to the
comics,
story.
yeah, and like the comics just do it to a point where it's just like, why am I looking at this?
The comics do it to do it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
spoilers for anything the boys related. But like if like when A Train kills Blue Hawk,
yeah,
he has this like really valid reason to want to do that. But if it was the comics, he would have just done it because he felt like it.
Yeah,
And
like
that's
in the
it.
show,
There'd be
there's
no-
kind of a release to it being that fucked up. It's like he wanted him to suffer. So, he drags his body along asphalt for however many miles at supersonic speeds.
bro. I
Versus-
thought
Just doing that to do it.
I thought for sure he was gonna die.
Right.
No,
I-
I didn't
The
think
heart
they would do
attack
that.
there.
Unless I had
I thought about it,
I figured if he was gonna die, we would have had confirmation that episode. Was my thought.
Yeah.
It's kind of that
didn't
general
want him
rule
to
of
die.
TV and movies. Like, unless you see the body and like have that confirmed, they're usually not dead.
Black
Yeah.
Noir could be alive.
I don't know about that one.
I heard that the plan for the show, like they said, Black Noir will be back next season, but it's like since he's a masked
like-
character, they're just gonna recast him, but like Vought will recast him. And I was saying, I think it'd be a great idea for Black Noir if the replacement is akin to like Vigilante from Peacemaker, where it's just like they go from the super like silent, solemn, serious type to the guy that's like
Someone who
super
talks
bubbly
too
and just
much.
happy to be a part of the Seven, but like I think
Well,
that'd be a fun.
So they had the
Switch it.
flashbacks with Noir, and they use a different actor than who actually plays him. And the showrunner said that they did that because of what you just said. They chose to use a different actor in the flashbacks. That way, we think of Black Noir as that actor. And not the actor that currently plays him, because that actor is still going to continue playing him as the new recast.
Yeah.
Oh.
So since we've never seen his face before, they didn't want to reveal it in a flashback because they're going to keep using him as the recast version. So canonically, Black Noir looks like he did in the flashback, but then in going forward, they're going to use his actual actor as what he looks like because he's the recast.
So is he
cool.
not gonna have the same costume or anything?
No,
Oh, he
I
will.
think he is.
Yeah.
You probably will, but it'll just be a different guy.
It'll
With
technically it'll be
different
the same guy.
mannerisms. Yeah, but technically same actor.
Yeah,
The
I think it's
guy
just
who
another like
plays
parody opportunity for Vought, really. To like make fun of
Hmm.
the comic movie industry and all that.
the guy who plays Black Noir said that he wants a spin-off show in like a Mr. Bean style. Like a Mr. Bean style spin-off show with Black Noir. Where it's just like him getting into, like he's silent, he's getting into these silly antics.
I'm gonna be honest, I would not watch that.
That'd be funny.
Bro, I would watch. You're telling me Black Noir was one of my favorites because
He
of
was.
like
You're telling me you'd watch a slapstick, like
Yes!
silent comedy featuring Black
And it's
Noir.
got all his little
And-
drawings there, bro.
yes, but it's the boys. So like they would make it. It's not just
I'd
It's not
watch like
just
a 30-minute special that's that, but not like a season of
well,
television.
I don't think they'd be hour-long episodes. They'd probably be like
Five
Diabolical, where
minutes.
they're all like under 15 minutes. Like have like
I
little
need to
like
watch
5 to 10
Diabolical
minute.
still.
Dude,
Same.
it's so good. I
Yeah.
watched like half of it, and then I uh got preoccupied with other stuff, and
I
then I,
am
I
excited
finished it,
about
and it's so good.
these. Have you guys heard about that spin-off show that's essentially like,
Gen V.
yeah, where it's almost like Sky High, but in the boys' universe. It's gonna be like a
Oh, yo.
college of just soups.
Yeah.
That
That's
should be
gonna be
good.
cool.
So you
Someone
gotta do.
I saw on TikTok someone found where they were filming it, and like they didn't realize that they were filming it there, and they just like stumbled onto like a Homelander statue uh, in front of a school with also like Soldier Boy next to him, and it was like, what the fuck is this?
How dystopian.
But dude, you need to watch Diabolical. They're all the episodes are under 15 minutes. There's 8 of them.
Hell yeah.
That's like 2 hours. Less than 2 hours of content.
Yeah, sorry.
It's
I'm too
it's
busy watching hour-long episodes of Love Island.
dude, it's so good. The second to last episode is like fucking beautiful. It's about like this little Asian man who's, you know, he's like your like kind of stereotypical like old little scrawny old Asian man, and his wife's dying of cancer, and so he steals some compound V, and the V like makes the cancer alive.
What?
Yeah.
And then it like the the premise is very silly, but trust me when I say that it is taken very very seriously. This entire thing is very serious. Um, but the cancer like gets so like it gets out of her because originally it's just like tentacles coming from where her cancer was, but then it like gets out of her and now it's this like big cancerous monster, and uh she feels like it's her responsibility to stop it. And we don't ever see the outcome of the fight, but like it's this very emotional thing where it's like her husband injected her with this to save her from the cancer, but now the cancer could potentially still kill her if she goes to try and stop it. And it's like the animation is like beautiful. The story is like amazing. It was written by Andy Samberg.
Oh wow.
Um,
I did not know that.
yeah,
God, I love
but
that
it's
guy.
like, but it is it like I like it is a serious, like it sounds goofy, but it is a serious story, and it's like it got nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, really?
This yeah, these upcoming Emmys, they got nominated. It is very good, and then all the other shorts are fun. There's one where Don Cheadle voices the main character, and I didn't know that until after I watched it. I didn't even know it was him.
Which one
Whoa.
was that?
Nubian versus Nubian.
Oh yeah.
He
You
voices
couldn't
Nubian
tell?
Prince. I didn't know that.
I immediately heard Don Cheadle.
I just wasn't looking for it.
Gotta get your Don Cheadle
The
recognition
Aquafina
on.
one is fun.
I always look for Don Cheadle, bro.
There's one that is one of the episodes is canon to the comics.
Yeah.
It's written by the guy who writes the comics, and it takes place within that world.
Nice.
But
Are
the last episode is one that you really need to watch because it is like it has to do with the story of the actual boys because it's all about Homelander's first mission, and it shows both his beginning of the downward spiral, and it shows him starting his relationship with Noir. It shows why he trusts him so much, and then it shows like how he became the way he did. Because he actually does try to do good in that episode, like genuinely, like he's not this crazy guy. Like he tries to do good, and he wants to be a hero and help people. And it shows the beginning of him not
spiraling. That's cool. I would.
So yeah, I'd
gotta
recommend
watch that.
watching that series. At least watch like 3 or 4 episodes. But at that point, you might as well just watch them all because they're under 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'll get around to it for sure. I'm watching so much right now between, like, Love Island is just kind of like our fun background show right now. But I'm trying to get through Better Call Saul as well and all this other stuff.
You know, it's
too
just
much
like
good
if you
shit
got
to
like
watch.
15 minutes, if you got like 15 minutes to spare,
Yeah.
just throw on an episode.
Yeah, it's definitely like a kind of like an in between watching shows kind of deal. Like, yeah, just a quick little thing.
But it's very good. One of them is the second episode is done by Justin Roiland,
Oh.
Yeah.
so it's like in his animation style.
Oh, nice.
They're
like
all
Rick and
different
Morty.
animations. Yeah, they're all different animation styles. Aquafina's episode is like some cutesy little anime aesthetic, and then the cancer one is like a like I don't know, a specific style of anime that I can't quite like.
Yeah, you wouldn't know because you don't watch anime.
Well, I'm trying to think because I've seen that style before in anime things that I have watched, and I can't I'm blanking. Jackson would probably know,
Don't
but
know.
I don't.
Yeah,
But it's like it's a more
sorry,
serious looking anime style.
I guess love is. I enjoyed Marvel's What If, but I couldn't stand the animation style. I know that like some people really liked it, whatever. But
I think it got
like, it
nominated
could
for an
be,
Emmy too.
like that. I wish that Marvel would go that. I know that like all at the end of What If, like the point was that they brought all those different characters together or whatever. But I'd kind of like to see Marvel do a similar thing where they just let What If creators go and do their own thing and use their own
Like a
animation styles
Visions.
until like truly, Vision style, do truly different things with each episode. Again, it's Marvel. Everything has to be connected. I get why they didn't, but I
think the thing
I hope
with
we can see that in
Marvel-
the future.
I think the thing with Marvel is that it has the potential to become, I don't know. I think it has to do with them trying to stay separate, like the MCU as its own thing, and not potentially wrapping it in with any other Marvel stuff. And it's like, so you stick to this one animation style that's very distinct. People are like, okay, that's an MCU project. Stuff like that. I don't
That's
know.
probably a good strategy, so kind of they like set the tone of the genre.
But I mean, I'm totally with you. I think there should be something like that. I want like a Star Wars What If.
Yeah, I guess that like
That
they
would be-
could like Visions could go that direction. Like I don't think anyone's stopping Visions creators from doing offshoot canon type of work. So hopefully we see.
I don't know,
some of
they
that with
might.
Visions season 2. Which is
They might
confirmed.
have a rule where it's like don't use,
Yeah, I
any
guess at least
pre-existing
there's no rule
characters.
that we know about that that's the case. So hopefully,
I really liked Visions.
I do too. I think I enjoyed Visions more than What If, and I think that's just because they
Yeah.
let the creators go loose and do whatever they wanted. And
So many
some of them
people were
weren't so
mad
great,
about
but
it.
some of them were super great.
I saw so many people mad, like Disney's ruining Star Wars. Look at all this. This guy's got a lightsaber umbrella. That's so
The
stupid. But it's like
lightsaber
it's not
umbrella was
canon.
sick.
It's not canon, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, in that episode,
Plus,
like
it was sick.
the siblings episode, I thought was the one that like
That
super
was
jumped the shark. But like, you could
that was
enjoy
my
that.
favorite
Like,
one.
it's great when they're using
Yeah.
lightsabers
It was
as
so
like
crazy.
these jet propulsors, essentially.
His lightsaber becomes massive and it cuts the Star Destroyer in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone
while
knows?
he's riding outside of his ship going hyperspeed.
Yeah. Anyone who knows Studio Trigger, who I'm pretty sure animated that episode, knew that they were definitely gonna go all out.
Also in the English dub, Neil Patrick Harris voices the brother.
Yeah.
Also, I don't care what anyone
I'm- I-
says.
I
The
watched
Space
it on
Band
dub.
episode was great. Super cute.
It was great. It was great.
It wasn't what I wanted, but I enjoyed it.
I think Ronan
Bro,
was my favorite.
I
The black
loved
and white samurai one with the where the lightsabers were still
one
colored.
was
I thought
good.
that one was great.
That one and the one where the master and apprentice fight the old Sith guy.
Yeah, that one was great too.
Is that the one where like all the Jedi meet up?
No.
No, that one was pretty good.
Or I guess
too.
all the
Mas-
Sith.
It's like a master and apprentice go to a planet for some reason, and they find a old crazy Sith guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like Visions. It was good.
But yeah, like this
It's fresh.
conversation started with Pierce talking about like, how sometimes it's you guys get, or he gets, obsessed or, kind of fixated on certain like media franchises. Is that how you guys go about like fandom as well? Because I can definitely relate to that. Where like I was talking earlier about how I just finished the Dune novel today, and like currently like that's kind of just the thing that's ruminating on my mind, and like it's
All
it's
you want to
like that
do
for me.
is consume more Dune media.
Exactly. If only that didn't entail like reading more books, because but yeah, like, and I was talking about how like this was just, it was much more like it was almost to the point of a problem for me as a child, where I was really rigid about what I could like at the time. I would say, I'd watch a Star Wars movie and then I'd get a Star Wars fixation. Well, I would enforce it, right? And the way I'd enforce it is that, back in the day before like everyone had a laptop or a smartphone, there was like a lot of people had family desktop computers that the whole family shared. And on my user, whatever I had set as my background on this computer was what I could enjoy, right? So like if I was in a Star Wars mood, I would make my background some kind of Star Wars background, and then all I'd permit myself to think about and enjoy and consume would be Star Wars content. And I had a Marvel background, and I'm sure various other things, but I don't know. I was a very strange and self-restricted
So how did
child.
you change the background?
What's that?
How'd you change them? If you were only allowed to enjoy what the background was, then how did you enjoy other things to change the background?
Well, I'd have to be really convicted. I don't know. Like maybe my dad forces me to watch a Spider-Man movie. Well, it's like, all right, I'll do this, but let me go change the background first. Or
That's
just
like
whatever my mind.
it's like an OCD problem.
It really was. I've always like people joke about, I'm so OCD. I have always had some like weird tics like that like, as I've kind of grown out of a lot of them. Like I don't still have a background that I changed with the with
I
the
don't
season,
believe you.
but, all right, it's true. I still have the background, but but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was definitely something I look back on. I'm like, man, that was fucking weird. Do
No,
you
we're
guys have any
crazy when we're
weird
kids,
like
bro.
childhood shit like that where you're like, why did I do that shit?
I used to always enter prime numbers into like microwaves and for the time on things and for like if my volume on shit had to be at like a prime number, it couldn't be anything else. The air conditioning in my car even.
What like so like to making it like prime numbers though, like I feel like you don't really learn about those until like let's say fourth
Yeah,
grade earliest.
this man
So
loved
like,
Bro,
prime
yeah.
numbers.
No, I
so,
remember like learning about prime numbers and
He's
like
like, this
fifth
shit's
grade
cool.
me made the decision. It was like, you're gonna do this to everything.
dude,
And from there on out.
oh, you would have bothered the shit out of me, man. Like every time, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of in the majority here. With, like volume type things, or like air conditioner type things, that has to be at like 5 or 0, or like
Yep.
at least on an even number. And so like, you putting shit like 23 would really
Yeah.
throw me off.
Yeah, mine has to go. I go in intervals of 5.
I don't know, bro.
That's how I do.
1923. It was.
That's no. That's. I hate that. Just
Car
20.
conditioning was like 71. Or, no, not 71, but 73. And
Yeah, once you get
Air
into the
conditioning.
70s, like
Okay.
those are pretty large intervals between prime numbers. So like, that had to be
it
I
was
don't
getting
know.
hard.
Air
I could
conditioning. I can deal with like a 71. You know, like a weird number. That doesn't bother me as much because temperatures. You know, you keep it at 68 in the winter.
hmm
You know, like it's room temperature 73. Temperature doesn't really follow that,
hmm
mindset of intervals of 5. So I can deal with something being off there.
But
Only
yeah, no.
problem is that is if your house is either going to be way too hot or too cold, depending on
Yeah.
what
I
prime
got
number you can go
67 and
to.
71. No.
It's so
No, I don't do that anymore. But that was my weird habit as a kid.
I can't think of any weird habits I had as a kid. I don't know.
I used to, whenever I was eating, I wouldn't allow myself to, like say I have a McDonald's meal, right? I either have to eat, or as a kid, I used to have to eat all the fries or all the nuggets first. I wouldn't allow myself to,
No,
like eat a
I did
nugget,
that
eat
as a
some
kid.
fries.
I still do that.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Usually, like I'll eat my burger and then eat my fries.
But like, is it a like compulsion? Do you have to, or do you think that that's just how it like normally shapes up for you? Just because I don't know, you get like you're just like, oh well, I'm chewing on this burger. I'm just gonna keep eating this
No,
burger.
I feel like that's just like how it is. That's just what I do.
Cannot relate.
So yeah, for me it was like even if I wanted a
I,
fry,
I
it's
well,
like
because
nope,
it's
haven't
like
finished
I
the
like to
nuggets yet.
focus. I like to focus on the specific thing I'm eating.
Okay.
Maybe I'll eat a fry here or there, but like the majority of the fries will be at the end, typically.
I don't know. I've convinced myself in my head. I go back and forth to try to reduce the amount of diminishing returns I get from like eating each one. So that way I can go back and forth
There
for the
there
flavor.
is one exception to that rule, and that is when I'm eating Wendy's chicken nuggets because I have that shit down to a math. So let's just say I got a
No way.
let's say I got a 10-piece nugget and a fry. You gotta get 3 honey mustards with that, all right? Because you're gonna use 5 nuggets for the honey mustards and then 1 specifically just for the fries. So typically, what I'll end up doing is I'll eat like 5 nuggets, and then I get down to like the honey mustard's just about empty, but there's still a little left, so I'll eat some fries and scoop up the leftover
Mm.
honey mustard. And then I go 5 more, and scoop up the honey mustard, and then I officially start my fries. But I will eat them along the way, more so I can
Yeah.
not
I'm
waste honey mustard.
I'm similar in that it's not a compulsion, but like if I'm eating McDonald's, I will like eat the Big Mac first and then go for the fries. But I have a similar math thing down with Cane's, because with the I think it's the box combo, you get 6 tenders, fries, and then bread and slaw, and then I usually sub out the slaw with bread. But you get
Yo,
two.
let's go double bread.
Yeah,
Double bread.
you get 2 things of cane sauce with it. And I figured out that 1 thing of cane sauce is good for 3 tenders, some fries, and 1 thing of bread if you want to dip it in your cane sauce, which you should do.
Obviously.
Yeah. So then, like, I'll start with 3 tenders, eat the bread, and then use the rest of it for fries. And it's never failed me before.
Bro,
So you
it's
guys are
good
up
to
to
get that stuff
sauce
down the math.
distribution.
You gotta have good sauce distribution.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that you have enough sauce for what you're eating.
Yeah, I think if anything, I go for fries first now, just because, like, I feel like nuggets lose their crispiness at a slower pace than fries do.
No, the fries get colder. It makes sense to eat them first.
Yeah, but it's not because like back then it was because like, oh, like I have to eat the fries first. No particular reason, nothing bad would happen, but it's like if I don't, I don't know, if I fucked up.
Yeah.
It's not how the
Also,
meal was supposed to go.
Yeah.
yeah. Most places, their fries are also like the most boring part of the meal, so it
Yeah.
also makes sense to get that out first.
What place do you think has the best fries?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
When they're done right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to be done right.
If not, I think like Steak and Shake's definitely up there.
Steak and Shake's too off. Like they're off more than they're on.
Those skinny
I
fries.
disagree.
Rallies
fries
are
for
always
sure
on.
up there.
Bro, they are always they're either soggy or they get cold so fast. That's the one thing with Steak and Shake fries is that I'll get Steak and Shake fries and I'll get home. I don't even live that far from Steak and Shake. I live like 2 minutes away, and the fries are like already starting to be cold.
Yeah, well, that's because they got a lot more.
Surface area.
Yeah,
Because they're skinnier.
yeah.
So, and that's just a big turnoff for me. As someone
Fair
who
enough.
eats their fries second, that is a
I
big turnoff for me.
appreciate about Steak and Shake though that they like it's normal at Steak and Shake to get cheese with your fries, which is like it surprises me that that's not a more common thing at like Wendy's or McDonald's. So I've always appreciated that about Steak and Shake. But
That's
does
interesting.
anyone
I'm not a cheese guy.
really not
like
maybe
that.
not like a cheese fry guy at all?
I don't like cheese dip.
Fair
Really,
enough.
like nacho cheese
Damn.
dip.
I
Yeah.
cannot relate.
I have salsa con queso always in my house.
Yeah.
Well, they're salsa con queso's different, bro.
That's basically nacho cheese sauce.
No, they got some extra stuff in there, but I will eat that with like hint of lime chips. That's good, but like I don't like dipping like breadsticks.
Oh, see, I'm a little bitch for nacho cheese. I could put
Yeah.
that shit on anything. I go to a
I don't-
stadium, like that's my go-to stadium food is like those nachos and cheese where
Or
you know that shit's
pretzels.
coming out of a tube, but like, oh fuck yeah, pretzels, yeah.
I don't know, like we have a pretzel place in our Walmart, and I always get icing dip.
Oh, and like the cinnamon sugar on the
No, just regular pretzels.
Just regular.
That's weird.
No, it's good.
I bet it's good, but it's a weird order. A normal pretzel
they
with
sell.
icing.
They sell icing as a dip for a reason.
We've also got a pretzel place in the mall where I work, and it is, I don't know, I'm always getting the cheese dip.
Oh,
Yes, bro.
We have an
Auntie
we have
Ann
an
can have her
auntie
way
Ann,
with
we have an
me.
auntie Anne's in our mall, but I never go to the mall because it's dead. There's like nothing in the mall anymore.
The mall's a depressing place to go to now.
Your
but,
guys' mall is so much
Yeah.
better than the Muncie Mall.
even still, like ours, even in the time we've been in town, it's lost some of its better stores. A lot of things are just like pop up shops. That
They don't
sell
even have a
whatever.
food court anymore.
Macy's is gone.
I don't think they ever
No
did
shit.
actually.
Yeah, like department stores, malls, just not the same. Used to be like, I don't know, in the pre-internet era, like going to the mall was just the thing to do in any given town. It's just not the case anymore.
Bro, the one in Anderson, I got to see that shit just straight up close.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was rough. And that had the only theater. The theater kept going a bit longer after the mall closed. And that was the only theater in Anderson. That was like the only. That's like the only theater within like a 20 to 30 mile radius. Not mile, minute. Like drive.
Damn.
I remember going up to visit like you guys, and just like we would drive through that area all the time, and you could just see it year by year, like a little more sad.
The decay.
It's so weird to me that malls fell. I feel like I just feel like it's a good idea. All these
It's just
all
because
these
most of the things you'd get at a mall now you can get on Amazon or
Yeah, but people still like places to hang out.
It'd be
Yeah.
cool if we could turn malls into just like bazaar type places where people can just go up and set markets.
What is like
Bro, yes.
what is more appealing? What's more appealing about about HTC than a mall? Like yes,
I
it's
don't know that
outside.
HTC is doing
It's just
great either.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm pretty sure it's still closed.
No, I'm not talking about the theater. I'm just talking about like
Well, yeah, the mall
talking
itself
about,
too.
like-
It's just not like a lot of the stores that were formerly there are not there anymore. And I don't think there is anything.
I feel like it's still
particularly,
pretty busy.
about HTC that keeps it around. It's just, um, I don't know. Yeah, I just people seem more content hanging out on the internet, and or like if you're gonna go out, I don't know, going to places like Top Golf or any sort of entertainment center. Like, because
Yeah.
shopping
It's
is just not
also-
a social activity anymore. It's just what you do on your computer.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's also
shopping's
not.
fun.
It's not something that like our
Depending on what
generation
it is.
or like it's not something like people our age like really think about it anymore. Because like now we can just go to a bar instead of sit around at a mall.
That well, yeah, for us, but like that's always been a thing. You know, people our age have always been able to go to bars, but
Yeah.
malls still had a prime because that's where like teenagers and stuff hang out. That's where the people who can't go to bars hang out, and even that died off.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know per se like what the alternative social thing that people are doing are. Like, I guess like the pandemic affected it too. Like people that kind of pushed people.
This
to,
has
like,
been happening way
socialization
before
is
the-
over Discord. It's happening over Skype, and I think that was already happening before. Or we're like, oh, we can play a video game instead of going to the mall. But the pandemic definitely exacerbated it. That's what killed our local mall here in Bloomington, I think. At least that's when a lot of stores went under. But also, yeah, like shopping, it's just you can go to the mall and you get your fixed prices and whatever, but like the deals are so much better online. Online's gonna have exactly what you want. You don't have to settle for the next best thing that they got in store. Um, so it's just yeah.
I don't know,
I
I
guess
like
it's
going
no
to,
wonder that that's dying off.
like, we have a Fi in our mall.
Fye, like
Uh,
for your entertainment.
yeah. And, like, I love going in there, bro.
Hey, that's
Look
where I
at,
got all my Dragon Ball DVDs and all my
that's
Godzilla
where,
DVDs.
yeah, that's like the
Fye.
only, that's like the only place you can get Godzilla stuff.
Mm.
Like, like, like Japanese Godzilla stuff.
Yeah,
I,
but
so I
even
love
then,
going in
like
there and
you're gonna
looking at all
find
that
better
stuff.
places on or better prices on eBay or even Amazon for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but they're not right there. I'm thinking this thing looks cool. I want it now.
Also, isn't
Or
it
it may not
crazy?
even be stuff, or it's not stuff that like I would originally think. Like I go in there and I see like a I go in there and I see a big cardboard cutout of Godzilla, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy that. But I'm not like before I walked in that store, I wasn't thinking, man, I could really go for a cardboard cutout of Godzilla.
Fair enough.
Impulsive.
I think
Got to
yeah,
see
I
it.
do like going to like GameStop now. Like yeah, most people buy their games digitally, and even when I buy games physically, I'm gonna say like half the time I'll just do so on Amazon. But like going into GameStop, I think the appeal of it now is like, oh, they've got these like statues, and it's more about collectibles than anything that you
Yeah,
didn't know
they
previously
they
existed.
most of the store is not games. It's just the
Yeah,
walls.
which makes sense. But also, this may just be like an anecdote, so I'm wondering if you guys have noticed this too. But like, I've noticed that like people like our parents' generation or older who are not necessarily tech savvy, who don't really understand the internet, they took so quick to online shopping though. Like my parents who
Mm-hmm.
otherwise kind of hate
Hmm.
the idea of the internet are just like, oh yeah, I get all my shit on Amazon or Kohl's.com, you know, rather than like they're the ones that I feel like maybe that too is like I don't know, like the appeal of online shopping to the older generations is
Well,
that's so effectively killer
the thing
for
is with the
malls.
older generation is that they um once you get it set up for them, they all they got to do is just buy it. Like they don't got to click, they don't got to put in their credit card information every single time, put in their address. They just got to click a couple buttons and they just ordered something and it magically arrives to their door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like not complicated at all for them. But they
yeah,
yet but yet they can't fucking figure out how to use a debit card machine. Like,
dude.
bro.
My my parents aren't bad with technology, but they still get confused on how to use a GPS. My I was just on
I
a nine
don't
hour
get it.
road trip, and my mom asked, "Do I turn here?" like 20 times, and most of the time it was like the upcoming turn was the only turn in like 2 miles. It's like, obviously you turn here. What do you mean?
Bro, I had a guy at my work yesterday who I literally had to tell him what to do on every single screen of the debit card machine. He was like, "I don't want cash back. What do I do?" And I'm like, "Well, you click no." And then he's like, "Well, what's this?" I'm like, "That's your pin."
Oh my god.
And this wasn't even like a really old guy either. This was like this was like someone who's in his 50s or 60s.
That's crazy.
And like, how do you like just read? Literally just read. That's all you have to do. And you will figure it out. Are you like, oh, it infuriates me. The technological illiteracy of old people.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, but when you
Some
got that
guy
buy
left.
now, button on Amazon where you just press that and it like takes care of everything. Yeah, I guess that
Bro,
like that makes it
I
easy.
hate I hate the old people's like hatred towards self checkouts. I can't stand that. How much they despise self checkouts.
Old people love to see the cashier, bro.
Like they hate they have a vendetta against self checkouts. They hate self checkouts. This one like our main register was down the other day, and the only thing we could use for like 5 minutes was the self checkout. And this guy like got mad and he left, and he didn't even get his stuff just because he didn't want to have to use the self checkout.
Like,
Damn.
yeah, I'm sure like you guys would have walked him through the process too, like if he really
Yeah,
needed help. So that's really great. See, the thing to me, like, that's even more annoying than, you know, like boomers who are reluctant to use self checkout is people who tell me that like, oh well, I want to make sure that you still have a job, so I'm gonna have you check me out instead of using self checkout. It's like, man, you know I
Yeah.
have other responsibilities aside from
that's the whole
doing
reason we have a
cashier
self
work.
checkout.
Yeah, and I think like it really came to a head the other day. I was reading. I read Dune at work when it's dead, and we live in a college town, so during the summer, oftentimes there's like a few to no one in the store. Um, and this is one of those instances, and so I think there was me and my I'm a manager, but the cashier was on break, so I was just kind of reading this book behind the counter, um, and me and one other customer in the store, and the customer comes up with all their stuff. It's a younger person, so not an older person who wouldn't know to use self checkout, and they look at me reading the book and go, I'm gonna use the I'm gonna have you check me out because you look bored. And usually I'm
Fuck
good at
that
like
person, bro.
having my good like customer service, look and voice. But I think like I was just so like, man, what the fuck? Like, that I just like looked at them in a way that they were like, oh well, I didn't mean it like that. Like it's like, no what, no, fine. Let me set this down. Let me come over and help you. But yeah, no, that's the worst for me is when it's like, well, I want to make sure that we're keeping you young guys employed. It's like, well, thank you for your
We
service.
just got a we just got a self checkout at my work. You know how many employees we've lost? Zero.
In
I
fact,
think
they've
we're gonna be
become
fine.
more productive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
want
like
people to use the self checkout.
people think
Actually,
that the
I don't
shelves have
want people to use the
stocked
self.
themselves and all that.
Actually,
Inventory
I
doesn't
don't want
sell.
people to use the self checkout at my work because that that's worse than them going to the register because they act like that goes back to the technological literacy. It doesn't even like it's not even old people. It's just regular people. It's like they put their card in, like they finish ringing stuff up and they put their card in, like they hadn't, and then like they're all confused why nothing's happening, and so they call me up because there's an issue with the self checkout, and it just turns out they didn't click the pay now, but they didn't click the pay button. It's like, are you serious? Like it's
Take
just
a look at
magic.
it.
It's just magic. It knows that you're done ringing stuff up.
I hate CVS. Like yeah, it's I get it. Like hitting that pay now button. It's like people are, like, why don't you just like look at the screen and follow the prompts? Like it's super simple. But CVS doesn't help because what they do is, they load it up with like, are you going to round up to donate? Do you want to sign up for our Care
Hmm.
Pass program? And it's like it asks all these questions, and then the amount of times in a day I'll get pulled over to a self checkout. Like, I don't know what's happening. Why is the machine not taking my card? And it's like, oh well, it's because you haven't said no, you don't want to round up, or you haven't said no, you don't want a Care Pass. And it's like certainly some of these corporations
Mm.
don't make it easier on the customer, by
Bro,
simplifying
they
the
don't
process. They got to ask 1,000 questions.
Bro, they could take away the screens from self checkouts and it would not change most people's experiences apparently. Because I guess people just don't look at the screen. So like around like an hour before we close, I'll shut down our self checkout so I can do all its closing stuff. And when it's closed, the screen in big letters says, "Sorry, this register is closed." But like the amount of times I'll be in the office doing paperwork and I can I'll look on the camera and I'll see someone trying to swipe an item across the self checkout, like trying to do it for like 10 seconds, only to look up and see that it just says register is closed. Like, what? You didn't look to begin with? How is the screen not the
damn.
first thing you look at when you go to the self checkout? That's
Yeah.
like your main. That's your main thing to do everything on. That is what you use to operate it. How are you not looking at it first?
Yeah. And while I get frustrated with CVS for like trying to, throw in all these donations for like tax incentives for the company, or like trying to promote their like CVS subscription service, like at the same time it does, like on the self checkout, it's big, it's not in small letters, like how old people, their phones are always like in 72 font, like you get like two words before it
Yeah.
goes to the next line, like it's that level of apparent, like it's very transparent, it's right in front of you, and I cannot for the life of me understand how people miss that when going to pay. But yeah.
I People are stupid. Like
Yeah, sometimes.
if there's
Go ahead.
one thing that like
Yeah.
working retail will show you in life, it's that people are stupid. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter their age. Everyone is stupid.
Yeah, sometimes I think about like how I didn't pursue a degree in a technology related field. I'm like, well, how will I make it in this world? Like it seems almost like an essential skill, or like the most desired like workplace skills have to do with technology, and then I like see all these people who have somehow made it by and just, can't use a fucking self checkout. And I'm like, okay,
I
maybe I'll
don't
be
get that.
alright.
How do these people survive if they can't figure out simple stuff like that? I also do think it is a will, like people are like they don't want to learn.
Yeah, it's like a resistance. They think that they're like, the last bastion of hope, like holding out against the machines, preventing Judgment Day.
By refusing to read the self checkout.
Like people are just oh my, the amount of times I like people just read stuff wrong or they don't read at all. And it all has to do with reading. We need to like increase like we need to do better in like our reading programs in school or something.
Think the
'Cause,
literacy
like,
rate's down, bro.
I guess because every single like I'd say like 90% of the issues that I deal with at my work on a daily basis have to do with something not being read correctly. Like
That is.
people just don't read. They'll see a big sign that says buy one get one free, but then they won't read what it includes and excludes. That is in just as big letters on the paper. It says buy one get one free, and it says all the stuff it excludes, all the stuff it includes. And then people will still just be like, "Oh well, it was on the shelf. It was on that shelf over there with all the stuff." It's like, yeah, but it excludes this specific thing or
Yeah.
whatever.
And I also guarantee that the people who decide on these deals at Dollar General are counting on the fact that people won't read those, and so
Yep.
they come to the counter with two items that don't match the deal, and then so they're just give up and buy it anyway.
Right.
hmm
I regularly
Because,
tell people who like fight with me about coupons or the sales on the shelf, and like I'm leaving CVS in a week. I have no intention to ever work for that fucking company again. Like they design these sales to confuse you and to be unfair, and then like exactly you bring them up to the counter and it's like the sunk cost fallacy, or like you've already put so much effort into it that it's like, okay, well, I'll just get it anyways, whatever.
I
And I
wish
tell
that's how
people
it was.
regularly that like who argue with me about how they think a coupon should work. I tell them it's like, CVS has, like these coupons are intended to screw you. They're intentionally misleading. It like they put in super fine print too on the sale signs, like with a card, so then they can get you to sign up with your email, and then they can sell your data, and then you get the deal, and then some people who are reluctant to give up that information still end up buying the things. It's just people. And then yeah, and I just hate that always falls onto the cashier. It always falls onto the person in the store, that corporate attempt to screw the customer. Like, those in the corporate offices
Bro,
will never get the
I wish
backlash
Has a
it
of that.
human
worked.
cost there.
I wish it worked because I get tired of being called up to the register all the time to change the price of something or take something off because it didn't ring right. I wish people would just accept it.
Yeah. Like, my dad, we were getting food, at like or we were getting food at a Burger King that was connected to a gas station we stopped at, and for some reason, their ice machine wasn't working, so they couldn't legally sell soft drinks because they were like warm. Um, and so like they didn't like offer anything so that like a combo deal would be worth it, because like you could get like a slushy or a milkshake or something, but it'd still be an upcharge. And my dad was like mad about that, and he was like asking the cashier, was like, shouldn't shouldn't this be like no extra upcharge? I mean, like why can't you just do that? And I was like, why the fuck are you asking the cashier this? I bet the fucking manager doesn't have any say over what the fuck happens here. Oh my god.
Right. I see. Yeah,
Just
exactly.
fucking
Like it's never
just
the
get a water
cashier.
and move on.
It's
To be
like
fair, I'd be upset too, but that's something that needs to be solved on the corporate level. We'll
Yeah.
the
get
corporate
we'll deal
knows
with
that it's
them.
gonna be the cashier that's gonna catch all the shit, right? They don't
Hmm.
need to make like they don't care that the cashier is gonna get yelled at, and it's yeah, and so they never have to deal with the consequences of their stupid policies, and that's why like as a manager, I've gone out of my way to like like one thing that CVS does is the sales that are that are like we have weekly sales tags that we put out, um, but we put them out on Saturday and they take effect on Sunday. And this is a corporate policy, as far as I'm aware, and what that means is that we put these tags out on Saturday, and people will come up on Saturday with items believing that they're going to be a part of these sales, and then it's our responsibility to tell them that, oh, this sale, that the reason you grab 2 shampoos instead of 1, that actually starts tomorrow. So then, and they know like the psychology of like, oh, well, you can either come back tomorrow or just pay the price. And most people are just going to pay, the price. And yeah, but like thankfully as a manager we had some like limited power of, okay, well, if someone believed that to be the case, I can say that in the system it was a price discrepancy and give them that deal anyways.
I
So,
Dollar General actually like they had that same when I started, we had that same exact problem where the sale ends Saturday, starts Sunday, but we got to put the tags up Saturday like night. Um and we had that issue too where it was like, no, that starts tomorrow, and they're like, well, why are they up now? Um but then they changed it so that after 7 o'clock on Saturday, the sales for the next day start, and the sales that are currently happening for that day are still going. There's like an overlap because that way after 7 o'clock we can put out the next week's sales, and they'll still ring up.
yeah, we put them up like midday Saturday, and they won't start until midnight Sunday. So it's a good 12 hours of shopping, especially like Saturday is typically the busiest day of the week. They know that.
Bro, why don't you just don't do that?
Yeah, it's all
Just
calculated.
do it like Sunday morning.
Right.
Like
Right.
like we actually do ours Sunday morning. We're technically supposed to do them at 7 o'clock Saturday evening. But Sunday mornings are slow, so typically they'll put them out Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
at
far
our
as
work.
I'm aware, it's a company-wide directive to put them up on Saturday. So I believe,
Yeah, but
this is
like
conspiracy on my end, but I
I
believe
mean
there's
it is
intention
with
in
Dollar
this.
General too, but like we still put them up Sunday
Yeah.
morning.
Well, I guess my boss is a sheep or whatever.
That's cringe.
It is, yeah.
We get to close at 9 at the men's warehouse, so we just put all our signs up for sales the day before. I don't know if that's corporate policy or not, but that's what we do.
Bro. Let's see the corporates try to run these stores. See how they do. They wouldn't last a day. You ever seen that show Undercover Boss, bro? It's too much. Bro, how is every CEO not terrified from the Undercover Boss show?
That could
Their
be them.
image.
Isn't the
Their
point
image
of
is gone.
is the point of Undercover Boss like it's supposed to be like an empathetic moment for the boss? Like he's like, "Oh, I work you guys too hard." Is it like the boss
Yeah.
comes in to work for a day and he's like, "You're not doing this to your greatest capacity. You're fired."
Typically it's the first one. I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if the second one's ever happened. But that would be very interesting if it has.
Like,
Yeah, the whole show is that they monetized sympathy for the working class.
okay. Okay, cool. I mean, I guess that's better than the alternative. Although, no. All right, Jackson, I've got to know. I'm looking through our topics list here. You've put British in quotations people don't understand that America is a country too.
I know
Can you
exactly
give
what
an
you're talking about,
elaboration on
Jackson.
this?
Jackson, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so it might be something similar, but I saw this TikTok, and I don't remember what the TikTok was at all. But in the comment section, I saw a person from the UK talking about, or no, the TikTok was like some stupid post about a guy who was like, like women don't know what it's like to go into, or no, it was like it was supposed to be like a relatable post about how like after men have sex, they don't like they can't even look at the person they slept with for like the next 5 minutes. And everyone was bashing on the guy. And in the comments, the guy was like, "Have Americans never heard of post nut clarity?" And I was just like, "Dude, you cannot be fucking serious. How do they think that we don't know what that is?"
Bro, they think that like we're like this crazy fantasy land. Like I don't
Wait,
know what's going on in British
let's take a
people's
step
heads.
back real quick. This man believes that like post nut clarity is like when you realize you hate your wife for 5 minutes, and then it's like, but then after that you get like caught back up in the spell. Like I'm confused
Yeah.
by that.
I think that was
It
unrelated.
was so stupid. Yeah, but then like there was that probably like a month ago, there was a TikTok going around about like a British person like thought that Americans couldn't use electric kettles because our wattage is different. That an electric kettle is too much for an American power outlet.
I saw someone that thought that someone thought that America didn't have contactless pay.
What? Like, duh.
Like we didn't have tap to pay.
Can you blame them for thinking like we're
Like, we're
living
like
in
a-
the barbarian ages, though?
We're like a primitive. We're like primitive. Yeah, that's just annoying. I fucking hate that.
In a way, we are.
Yeah,
But their
but I
outlets
mean,
are
like,
stupid. They have the dumb outlets. Theirs are big and annoying.
yeah. To a lot of countries, we're very far behind. To Britain, it's just that we have worse healthcare. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have you've got like the Walmart brand Trump and Boris Johnson. Congrats on getting rid of him. But like, you know, it's not that much of an upgrade.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
they gotta find a leader. They're still having elections over it, aren't they?
Now we got Sleepy Brandon.
Bro, and those fucking 9 wizards that decide everything.
All the god emperors on the the court.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
How is I saw that like they're trying to write the right to abortion like into law through Congress. Isn't Supreme Court just gonna strike that down and say it's unconstitutional?
Yeah, but it would actually, well, because based on, because the Supreme Court's decision on abortion was essentially that abortion is not protected by your right to privacy. So they'd have to come up with a different reason to ban it if it was made into law by Congress. But at the very least, that would, give some time for the process to go through.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think to just like straight up codify it, like, and cement it, they would have to just add an amendment, but that would take like 3/4 of the legislature.
Yeah, no shot that's ever happening.
Mm-mm.
We don't even get fucking half with fucking Joe Manchin.
For real. That man and his fossil fuel
I don't think it would
company
need to be an
owning-
amendment. An amendment would just be much harder to, like, overturn by the next administration. But I mean, they could make a law, but if we lose the midterms, it wouldn't. Yeah, I guess at least it would
Yeah.
get us to November. But yeah, things are looking kind of grim over here. That's why the Australian exodus is coming.
Yes.
Yep.
We're
Bro, I
gonna
fuck with
go
the
into the
Australians.
prisoner colony.
Bro, I fuck with the Australians. We're going to Australia. They got the crazy. I love Australian accents, bro. I want to. I'll live there
Yes.
long enough and I'll develop one. How crazy is that you can just develop accents just from living places long enough?
I mean, can you? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
you'd never
absolutely
have like
can.
a pure Australian accent. Is I don't think. Like, even if you spent 20, 30 years there, you'd still, because it's all like language formation happens mostly between the ages of like 1 and 10. So like after that, like you're pretty much set. And I think like although you might get like a twinge, I don't think you'd ever like go to Australia for an amount of time and come back with like an Australian accent.
Yeah, but like I think like the example I think about is like I know Pierce watches, but I don't think you guys do. Rubber Ross.
That's
Yeah,
that's what
he's-
I was thinking too.
Yeah, he's full blood Australian, but he moved to America. I want to say probably a decade ago, and his accent has changed like so much.
It's
like
like
you
gone.
can, yeah, like you can still kind of tell he's Australian, but like it's mostly an American accent now.
When I first watched a video with him, I didn't know he was Australian.
Dang. All right.
Yeah, shit's crazy.
Accents are crazy.
Accents are crazy.
I don't know, it's weird
Like-
because from our perspective, like an American accent is just a lack of an accent. So like I'm like, yeah, he moved here and lost his accent, not like he gained an American accent.
But it is. Like, I don't like to me, I feel like our voice sounds normal. Like
Yeah.
we're the normal ones.
And like I can say
But
that certain
everyone
Americans
thinks
have
that.
accents, right? Like there's like the New
Yeah.
York accent, like the Jersey and the Southern
Hmm.
accent,
Hmm.
and even like the like in the Midwest, like the
Californian.
Wisconsin type accent, like oh how you doing type,
Yeah.
Michigan, Wisconsin.
A-
But
Apparently,
bro, I
like Colorado, the Colorado accent is like the closest to the what we picture like English, American English as.
Just like the correct one.
Yeah.
bro, like I just feel like our voices are just normal, bro.
Yeah.
We are the normal. We have the normal non-accent voice. Like I don't hear you
Yep.
guys talk and hear an accent. Just
Yeah,
you're
I
just
talk like
talking.
the people on TV, so I think I'm right.
That's what I'm saying. That's the standard.
No, I've noticed nowadays that I do say like certain words certain ways, but would never call it an accent. I just know I have peculiarities.
You're a peculiar man.
I've I've given up on my hatred of y'all and
Yes.
started using it.
Let's
It's
go,
such an efficient word.
bro. How fucking crazy is it? How crazy is it that there's fucking homophobic puppets on TikTok? What's up
What's
with
going
that?
on there? You guys are like my
Yeah,
only link into that community. Like I only get TikTok secondhand, like from you guys or from my girlfriend. Um, I'm never
So
on the app,
so
so
this
tell me
so
tell me
this
about this.
guy so this guy Dinks, Star Wars Dinks. He was a puppet that did like lore videos and like Q&A videos where people would like leave questions in the comments and he would answer them. Like why like someone would leave a comment that'd be like why uh, uh can you tell me how uh like uh green
Yeah.
lightsabers are made? I don't know. It's hard to think when you're really high. But like, someone will leave a video asking a lore question and he'll answer. And he was like and like other Star Wars stuff. But like that's generally what he did. Is he made videos about the lore. Um and he was just like a super positive like guy or puppet, but and he like always seemed supportive and he liked Disney, Star Wars and stuff like that. All the signs of like a not one of those Star Wars fans. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
Um, and then it came out that he is the guy who, or at least the man whose hand is up his ass, is he's very right wing, so he's very
mm,
homophobic. Uh, you
dang.
know, very
Doesn't like
Yeah,
anti
woke.
anti-abortion. You
Oh,
know,
it's that
you hate
bad?
to see it.
Is that
like
he
it's
said
like
that in
it
his
is like
Star Wars videos? He's like,
no, 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 no. None of this is stuff that was said in the Star Wars stuff. This is all people found on
Oh.
like his Facebook. Like
Uh,
that's why this like came out of nowhere
oh, that's interesting.
Hmm.
because he was always this like pure positive like guy, and it came out that he's like a
posting
very
homophobic stuff on.
and he could have okay.
How certain is that link,
Most of the
though? Like,
what
people 100% certain that this guy
yes that is
is.
him. No, that is him. He talks about it on his account, but
Oh, like he addresses it.
like no like he talks about like him being a like having his puppet on his personal
Mm.
accounts, but uh most of the posts that people pulled from were from like 3 to 5 years ago, and I'll give it, someone can change. They can realize they were wrong and they can become better. And that could have happened. But the quote unquote apology video that he made was a not apology video. And then in that, I this isn't 100% quote. I can't quite remember exactly what he says, but he basically says like, I'm not homophobic. I just I don't like Disney's use of the homosexual agenda to make money. I don't like he's basically I don't have any issue with people being gay. I just don't like that Disney uses gay stuff to make money. But him saying the words homosexual agenda just sealed his fate. Like,
Yeah.
you don't use the phrase homosexual agenda in a positive light.
Yeah.
And so now all these puppets are coming out of the woodworks, making sure people know that they are not homophobic. I'm seeing more and more puppets pop up on my For You page.
Yeah, I would,
Yeah,
like
I
I would
was-
disagree with a person who says that, like, I don't like. I think that what I'm saying is, like, I think that someone can make a more or less reasonable point that, like, I support the LGBT community, and I think that Disney is trying to, like, exploit that community for profit. Like, I can understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you're right. As soon as you throw in like the, like, buzzword of homosexual agenda or, like, the gay agenda, it's just, yeah, there goes all your credibility.
It's sad because I liked him too. I started watching him around the time. I started seeing him pop up on my For You page like a month or two before Kenobi started airing. And and then around the time Kenobi came out, he got like huge. And like I was always watching his TikToks learning stuff about the lore.
But again, how do
now-
people know?
and-
Like, how
and
do
now
people
he's-
link the TikTok and the Facebook?
I think he's said his he has said his like in lives he's said like his personal
Oh, he's like promoted it. Well, that's on him.
well no because people were like no I just think he wasn't thinking about people looking at messages 5 years ago, but or not messages but posts, but still like it's sad. I liked he made good TikToks about Star Wars. I learned a lot. But there's other Star Wars lore people that I can learn from, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. I'll live without them.
All right. Is it recommendation time?
Yes,
Nope.
sir. I think it's about that time.
All right. I'll start first because I actually got 3 today.
That's against the rules?
No, they are all different forms of media.
Doesn't matter. Against the rules. Save them for the next week, pal.
No, because I'll forget.
Not my problem.
The first is Abroad in Japan, YouTube channel, Chris Abroad. He does a lot of educational stuff about living in Japan. I think he's lived there for like 5+ years now. And he does a lot of informational stuff, very entertaining videos. He did a series a couple years ago where he biked across Japan for 2 months. He did I think 50 kilometers every other day, and just went to various places exploring the cities, and it's a very informative and very fun series. The second is the band Battle Tapes. Ethan suggested a while ago that we listen to their album Polygon. And it's very good. They also just put out a single, I think it's called If Only, and it's very good. Electronic I would say like electronic, like I don't know like what genre it'd be, but like they put out a bunch of bops, I'll say.
Accurate
And then
descriptor.
yeah. Lastly is the Dissect podcast on Spotify. I just finished. I think I talked about like in the first recommendation about because of the internet uh, season they did, but I just finished their Tip of a Butterfly season, and it was very interesting to learn about the many ways that Kendrick Lamar uh, is like I feel like a lot of people underestimate how much thought goes into a lot of his lyrics. It was very interesting to learn about it. That is all.
Is it my turn?
Pierce.
It
The
is now.
boys. The boys. Watch the boys.
The boys.
Watch the boys.
It's
Watch it.
good.
I don't care who
Watch
you
it.
are. I don't care. I don't care if I don't care if you like superhero stuff. If you don't like superhero stuff, watch it because it's perfect for you because it's about killing superheroes. Shit's so good. It's like everything. It's like it's got something for everyone. It's got some like edgy humor. It's got some emotional some real emotion and character. You know, it's fun, bro. It's got everything.
Yeah.
One of the best
Makes
shows ever made.
yeah. Makes fun of like fake wokeness while also being very anti-capitalist.
Yeah, it makes fun of everyone
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
while also portraying like while also obviously being a certain having a certain message to say.
Hmm.
Great, bro.
Uh,
Love the boys
love the boys.
and
Ethan.
love
I've
these
been
boys.
listening to the features. It's just a self-titled album. It's like very uh, upbeat and more positive. It was very summery music, so I was happy to get into that.
Right on.
Sam.
I was talking a bit earlier about how I finished the Dune novel. What I can say about that is like there's a reason that they call it like the greatest sci-fi novel of all time. I was not disappointed. Very excited for Dune Part 2 from Denis Villeneuve. If you haven't checked out the first one, it's on HBO Max. Uh, Absolutely worth a watch. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, been playing some video games this week. Been gotten into Back for Blood with a couple of friends. I had tried playing that game upon release. I played it by myself with some bots. I just wasn't really gelling with it, but playing it with some friends, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've also been speaking like it's a week for giving games a second chance because I've been playing some No Man's Sky as well, and also been having fun with that experience. Although my one critique of No Man's Sky is just the tutorial is daunting and will last you about 5 hours, but once you get past that, it's great time. Uh, but other than that, music wise, I've been listening to a lot of ambient music this week. I don't know. I'd describe it as like kind of just you know walls of sound that are appeasing to you, especially if you're under the influence of certain drugs. But I would shout out the band Superposition, who I've been listening to actually throughout the podcast. Just very spacey ambient music. If you like a sci-fi type, just vibe going on in the background, that's the music for you. Yeah, pass it back to Jackson for an outro.
Um. Outro.